Hey, Damon here for Automotive Superstore. If you've been shopping for an Apple CarPlay or Android Auto head unit and you've got a budget that stretches a little bit above the entry level, so you can get some of those really nice convenient features like wireless CarPlay or Android Auto, then Kenwood's DMX6523S might just be the unit for you. Let's have a look. So wireless CarPlay or Android Auto, it's actually a really convenient thing to have if you haven't had it before. The wired system's nice, but sometimes you find you plug it in, certainly with Apple phones, and it'll ask you on the phone, oh, please open it. Do you want to use this accessory? And you have to open the phone and put a passcode in to get it to work. With wireless, it just bypasses all of that. You get in the car, it just turns CarPlay on or Android Auto on straight away, and away you go. That's why I've got CarPlay wirelessly in both of my cars, because I really love that feature. Now, the 6523S also has a 1024 by 600 pixel resolution screen. That's higher than the standard res you get on most entry-level head units, and one of the other features you're paying for the slight premium over an entry level on this unit, amongst other things. Another great example is wireless smartphone mirroring. This is an Android Auto playing YouTube, but it also works with iPhone. The wires for this are all pretty much hardwired to the back of the unit. These have that shallow L-style chassis to make them easy to mount in virtually any vehicle. You get the plug-in loom, obviously, that gives you your power, earth and trigger and connection to the 4 internal powered channels. It's 22 watts RMS by 4 on the internal amplifier. You get front, rear and a single mono RCA pre-out on the back of this unit, 2.5 volts RMS of signal strength. There's a flow lead for USB. It's 2.1 amps of charging, which is really high charging for your phone or even for another smart device. It's really nice. There's also iDatalink Maestro available as an option on this unit for vehicles that can support that feature. You also get a fascia surround, the GPS antenna that's really for the wireless CarPlay and Android Auto system, and a quick start guide. So we'll start off by jumping into Apple CarPlay, and here we swipe left and right to access all our important apps for navigation, communication, things like that. Now I've got 2 phones connected. The Android phone is connected via cable and the iPhone is connected via wireless. So we just switch across here to the Android Auto, and instead of swiping left and right, you swipe up and down to access your apps in Android Auto. Hit the home key, come back to the main menu. On the bottom left here, we hit this button. That gives us access to all of our sources. Bluetooth, USB, things like that. The small gear key in the bottom corner. So we've got an AV menu, our display menu. Here we can do things like customize our wallpaper. There are a bunch of preset ones, or you can load one via a USB stick if you like. Illumination on this is just white on the side. There's no changing that on this particular unit. Going to user interface, this is turning off your beep tone, setting your steering wheel controls, doing your clock. In reverse camera, you can set up things like your parking guidelines, turning them on and off. This is where you turn on or off your demo and reset the unit, and in connections for setting up your Bluetooth. Top right hand corner is the audio menu. Let's start with fader and balance. Traditional fader and balance, forward and backwards, left and right, or you can recenter at any time. Over here in volume offset, here you can set the relative levels for each of your sources. So when you switch between sources, there's no massive jump in difference of volume output. Into equalizer, it's a 13-band graphic equalizer where you can adjust each channel's boost or cut. There are presets, 3 user ones, and then a bunch you can play with yourself. Bass extension, and then overall subwoofer level control relative to the main volume is set here. Position DTA is digital time alignment. To adjust, we've got a choice of centimeters or milliseconds, and then you can adjust the level because proper time correction is done by setting both the time arrival and the time intensity. Over into crossover. Now, Kenwood have always had either a basic or an advanced menu system for their crossovers. In basic, you select the car type. You select the speaker size, and then you select the location, and it will set an approximate crossover for you based on that information if you don't know how to set it yourself. Here we've got the tweeter setting, and that's to tell the system how large the tweeter in the car is. Now if we come into crossover itself, we have front, rear, or subwoofer adjustment. Let's go to front. Here we can adjust the frequency all the way up to 250 Hertz. The slope we can adjust between 24, 18, 12, and 6 dB per octave. And we can adjust the gain output of that channel relative to the others. Now the tweeter gain adjusts a shelving output for that front pair of channels. See here, it reduces the amplitude just in the top frequencies. If I come back and I can adjust the tweeter to a different size, let's jump to a small size tweeter. If I go back in, you can see now it's a much narrower band of frequencies. So that's what that tweeter size adjustment does. It's a really handy feature. Subwoofer, we can control the phase, 0 or 180 degrees, again the frequency, and again the slope, 24 to 6 dB per octave, and again the gain. Back and we'll go into sound effect. Here we have bass boost in one of 3 levels, loudness in low or high or off, and you can turn the built-in amplifier in the head unit off. If you're using external amplifiers, it just cuts down on heat behind the dashboard. And so that's Kenwood's DMX6523S, a fantastic unit with some great sound quality features and convenience features. If you want to grab a smoking deal on one, there'll be a link down below. While you're down there, like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you next time.